Kazakhstan is one of the most multinational countries which gathered representatives of more than 130 ethnicities and nations. Each ethnicity has unique traditions, inimitable holidays, interesting stories and amazing recipes. Recipes of kindness and peace, recipes of respect to your own roots and other people's culture, recipes for friendship. Hello, my name is Alevtina Madyarova. Commotion of people's superstitions and ceremonies, the whirlwind of festive customs and the fun that only happens in spring are waiting to be unveiled in today's program. So today in the program, chastushka, samovar and of course pancakes. We are visiting the village of Panfilo for Maslenitsa celebration. Of course, we cooked everything ourselves. Baklava, bausaks and cakes, everything. Pancakes and dried biscuits. Do you know humorous folk songs, chastushka?
А мне милый изменил на 100, а я ему на 300. Он себе нашел старуху, а я тракториста.
National characteristics and details of Nowruz celebration among different nations. Nowruz is a cosmic holiday because on these days the sun finally turns to the northern hemisphere and shines with its fullest strength. And people noticed that in ancient times, even before Islam, and celebrated Nowruz as a beginning of a new year. Warm words and sincere congratulations from representatives of numerous ethnic groups. As well as music, dance, songs and details of history. We first greet spring by saying goodbye to a harsh winter. It is rare to meet a person in our region who does not know about the existence of such a holiday as Maslenitsa. However, try to ask friends, what is it? And you will get very different answers. For someone, this holiday is associated with pancakes that you would want to share with guests. Someone mentions a scarecrow that is burnt at the end of celebrations. Someone will link Maslenitsa week with a great fast, but it turns out that, as a rule, people don't know anything about Maslenitsa except the famous phrases from the cartoon. Today I invite you to celebrate Farewell to Winter or Maslenitsa, and in our country everyone celebrates it regardless of their nationality and age or religious beliefs. So what is Maslenitsa? How and when it is celebrated? It is well known that the holiday of Maslenitsa was celebrated by pagans long before the appearance of Christianity. And what is interesting, the date of the holiday was not flexible, but it was strictly fixed to the day of the spring equinox. Now it falls on different days. Sometimes it is celebrated even in February or close to April. Hello, happy holidays! Thanks, and to you too! You look so beautiful. We are from the 17th school. Which school is it? This is the school of the Panfilo village. What do you have there? Pancakes, dried biscuits and some honey. And everyone can have some? Yes. Did you cook everything yourself? Yes, we did. Do you know any chastushkas?
Как на масляную неделю испекли пироги.
It is interesting to note that since ancient times, this holiday fell on days close to the spring equinox, yes, just like Nowruz, which we also inherited from our pagan ancestors. These events have a lot in common. In fact, they are phenomena of one nature. The surrounding world is awakening and we all welcome a new season of fertility, joy and prosperity. This is the day of the first furrow, hopes and plans, the day of the beginning of a new life. And just like Nowruz, Maslenitsa is celebrated by representatives of the most diverse ethnic groups with pleasure. Well, I see you brought a treat with you. Yes, we have coffee and compote, and there is even a samovar full of tea with dried biscuits. So you have everything from different cuisines. We have everything. Did you cook treats yourself? Of course, we cooked everything ourselves. Plov and bausaks and cakes, absolutely everything, pancakes and dried biscuits. Do you know humorous folk songs Частушкas?
А мне милый изменил на 100, а я ему на 300. Он себе нашел старуху, а я тракториста. Ух!
Well, these Частушкas are very impressive. Every day of Maslenitsa week is planned. During the holiday, guests have fun and visit each other. Every day people eat together pancakes. The reason is simple. There is almost 2 months of the Great Fast ahead, but not everyone follows it. Nevertheless, it's obligatory to have fun at Maslenitsa. The culmination of celebrations is a Sunday of forgiveness with its festivities, games and universal reconciliation. On this day, it is customary to ask for forgiveness for something that you have done or just in case. And of course, you have to forgive others too. During the holiday, when the fun has reached its climax, the most important part of the holiday is probably saying goodbye to the winter. The wheel wrapped in straw symbolizes winter and more often a scarecrow. It is dressed in a sarafan. Someone draws a face for winter and ties a handkerchief, and another one thinks up something more creative. During the holiday, winter or moraine, as it was in the old days, rises above the crowd. But its main mission is to take the cold, sadness and boredom with it as it burns. Finally, it's time to say goodbye to winter, and it's set on fire. And with it, people let go of all their sorrows, worries and illnesses. While we continue with our program, the next station is Nowruz. Today, I suggest you to celebrate the most important holiday in the calendar and not only of the Turkic world, Nowruz. Contrary to popular misconception, this holiday has no relation to the Islamic tradition. It originated much earlier, in pagan times. The day that marks the arrival of spring and rejuvenation is celebrated in many Eastern countries: Turkey, Macedonia, Afghanistan, Central Asia, some regions of India, and this is not the whole list. For example, according to the Kazakh tradition, the vernal equinox was celebrated as a great day of the Ulus, that is, the people. Since ancient times, it was believed that the more generously you set the table on this day and warmly meet the guests, the more generous the coming year will be to you. That is why people prepared a lot of food of different varieties. They wore something new, children received lots of gifts. Nowruz in Persian means a new day, and that's what the Iranian call it, including the Iranians living in our country. My name is Saeed Javad Jalali, and I'm a cultural representative of the Consulate General of the Republic of Iran in Almaty. Nowruz is one of the oldest traditions and festivals of the Iranian people. This tradition is about 10,000 years old. One of the key features of this holiday is the Haft Sin table, on which 7 symbolic items traditionally are displayed, all starting with the letter Sin in the Persian alphabet, and each has its own meaning. The list of 7 symbols displayed on a sacred tablecloth is almost always the same. The sprouted wheat grass, which signify the awakening of nature; garlic means health; apples, beauty; spice sumac, a symbol of prosperity; vinegar, wisdom and patience; samanu is considered a sign of prosperity; jida or dates symbolize fertility.
نوروز تنها جشنی است که حتی با آمدن مدرنیسم و مدرنیته
Despite the influence of modernism and new trends, the Haft Sin table and traditions of celebrating Nowruz in Iran are guarded and adhered strictly. And also, if you attend the Iranian or Azerbaijani celebration of the Nowruz, you will surely see colored eggs and lighted candles on the table. These symbols also exist since the pagan times. Nowruz is a spring holiday of the equinox. It is known from immemorial time. It is not a feast of Islam. It appeared 5,000 years before our era. Our ancestors preserved these customs so that it would reach us, and we also preserve this and pass it on to the next generations, so that they never forget. Nowruz is a very good holiday. This is a day of reconciliation, so that peace reigns everywhere. I wish you peace and joy, and it is great to see everyone happy and smiling. There are a lot of customs. I can't tell about it all. You can find the sacred number 7 almost in all traditions of celebrating the arrival of spring. Maslenitsa is celebrated for 7 days. Descendants of the Zoroastrians put 7 items on the table. Kazakh Nowruz Korje is prepared with 7 ingredients, and this list can be continued. While Turkmens celebrate Nowruz in the same way as other Turkic nations do. They put the swing Altı Bakan and prepare very hearty dishes, especially those consisting of 7 sorts of cereals, and even from 7 sweets, dried fruits. Well, this is a wonderful holiday because people gain their strength. The state supports this holiday, all receive gifts. It is all wonderful. I just enjoy this sunny day when we all celebrate Nowruz. It is hard to believe, but there was time when Nowruz was not celebrated in our country at all. In the Soviet years, there were no places for pagan and religious significant dates on the calendar. An ancient holiday returned to the houses and cities with the countries gaining independence, and nowadays everyone is celebrating it. Nowruz is a cosmic holiday because during this period of time, the sun finally turns to the northern hemisphere and shines with its fullest strength. And people noticed this in ancient times, even before Islam, and celebrated Nowruz as a beginning of a new day, as a new day of the new year. And Turkmen people also celebrated this holiday as steppe nomads, desert nomads. And then it of course became a Muslim holiday, but in the Soviet times it was banned. I remember very well that in 1990 in Almaty we were so surprised to celebrate this holiday for the first time. Correspondents also came to work for us. Tables were everywhere in the streets in Almaty. It was just sensational. The main delicacy of the Uzbek festive table on this day is sumalak, a sweet treat from the sprouted wheat shoots. It is prepared all night, for which the women who live next door and belong to the same community gather together. Sumalak is cooked continuously for 12 hours, and anyone who participates in this gathering has the right to make a wish, even 3, and all of them will certainly come true in the upcoming year. The second part of the ritual is waiting for everyone in the morning. It is a very important moment. In the morning when the sumalak is opened, pictures can be seen on its surface, and if you carefully read them, you may see a prediction for the whole next year. Dish is sacred. Everyone should try it on a holiday. Moreover, the use of such a dietary supplement for the body, exhausted in harsh winter, is difficult to overestimate. But most importantly, it is a reason to gather together for conversation, jokes, songs and dance. The ritual of making sumalak is, first of all, a fun occasion.
Sanatlar müzika terlemiydi bana.
Men in the meantime are preparing a festive plov, and when it is ready, everyone will gather, old and young. Since Nowruz is a holiday of purification, it can be understood literally. In time, the women took out all unnecessary stuff out of home. Stuff was thrown away, practical things were distributed to the poor. Nevertheless, only the necessary things were left at home. An accurate cleaning is also an obligatory element of pre-holiday preparation. And just like during Maslenitsa, the first pancake is given to the poor. It is customary to do good deeds on Nowruz to reach out to poor and vulnerable. The main dish on the festive table is flavory Nowruz Kojé. Kojé is prepared with 7 ingredients: the smoked meat from winter sorghum and cereals, beans and milk. Everyone should definitely try nutritious, delicious food on this day. We cannot imagine festive Dastarkhan without Baosoks, which is though a simple dough fried in oil, but it seems that there is nothing more delicious than Baosoks. Baosoks are loved by everyone and welcomed on any table. In the old days, there was a belief that on a holiday you need to taste Nowruz Kojé in 7 houses. Then the upcoming year will be happy and prosperous. It is not difficult to fulfill this tradition now. Moreover, Kazakhs are very hospitable, especially on such an important holiday. Also in Nowruz, it is customary to forgive all past offenses and wish everyone good, because it is not good to start a year with a grudge in your heart. Another rule that promises you luck in the future is to celebrate Nowruz with an open heart generously. There should be only the best food on the table, the best dress and the best treats for the guests. The more you give away on the great day of the Ulus, so our ancestors called the day of the vernal equinox, the more you can expect as a reward. Spring is welcomed in other countries too. For example, the famous Venetian Carnival, which lasts 10 days, and at the end of it, the remains of scanty food are burned in the oven in order to avoid temptation during fast. It is very similar to Maslenitsa. French Mardi Gras with pancakes and mummers, a Czech carnival when young people smear their faces with soot and walk through the streets, and Schwabian Fastnet. These are all related concepts. And in whatever language you congratulate each other on this day, in the East or in the West, wishes are the same: health, prosperity and peace. Kazakhstan is a multinational country. You can celebrate here Maslenitsa, Nowruz, Jewish Purim and of course the Orthodox Easter. I think you will agree that in our country, even those who are not familiar with the history and meanings of the most important Orthodox holiday will never refuse to taste fragrant Easter cakes or treat himself a traditional dyed egg. The procession, followed by Easter celebrations, is a pleasure not only for those who are deprived from food for 48 days being fasted. As it is said, everyone enjoys. I wish you cheerful holidays and bright spring. See you next time in our program Recipe for Friendship.